to the Bone Zone. Last week, delivered painfully by the beefy bears, the baby bulls are left holding a ginormo L. So dumpy it makes a Taco Bell bathroom look like a clean place to eat. But after this latest dump, is the pain over? Or is it just getting started? Right now, the price of Bitcoin sits at 26,000 US dollars, a measly $3,000 lower than it was just a week ago after suffering a massive dumpulation. But we're going to be looking at these charts. The main thing I want to start off with is Stock Money Lizards talking about Bitcoin, Binance, open interest levels resetting to the March drop levels, which if we go back to March of this year, we had a pretty big dump from about 25,000 to 19,000-ish. And then quickly got bought back up and actually pushed us all the way up to the new local highs and the highs of the year, all the way up, leading to like the plus $30,000+ levels. But first, we got that quick fake out from 25 to 19, then up to 30. But when we went down to 19, that brought us to these lowest Binance open interest levels that we are now at. The lowest that open interest has been since that dump, okay? Absolutely very big. So does that mean now that we have gotten a dump big enough that we can slowly inch up or have a quick mega pump this week, similar to the dump we saw back in March, first week of March, and then quickly the second week of March ended up in a massive pump, right? And basically so far the biggest uptrend of this year so far. There's been 3 uptrends, and this most recent uptrend was actually the weakest. The June, July, August price action has been the weakest of these 3 pumps, right? Actually, yeah, if we look at these 3, this is where 2023 starts. We've had 3 legs up. 1, 2, 3. This last one was the most pitiful. In fact, we only went higher than the April high by like only $1,000, not even an entire $1,000. So this last pump has been disgustingly bad, okay? Which in my opinion makes this a further and more likely scenario that I don't necessarily think we're going to have a quick massive pump this week like we did back in March, right? I don't think that that's really on the card. So if we take a look first, also here, it's been over 650 days since the last Bitcoin all-time high. Basically, how long are you willing to wait for the next one? How long are you willing to hold your Bitcoin? So think about that. It's been over 650 days since the last Bitcoin all-time high. And in my opinion, it's going to be at least another couple hundred days before a new high. That doesn't mean we won't have really good pumps and an uptrend before then. But yeah, for us to break 69,000, nice. I don't think we're really, we're at least a couple months away. At least. More likely, I think, we will be breaking Bitcoin's all-time high sometime in 2024, towards even the first quarter of 2024. Which means that, at least another 3 or 4 months, it's very, very unlikely we'll get anywhere close to breaking Bitcoin's current all-time high. CryptoCon on Twitter also putting this: the Bitcoin bull market faked us out with an early pump and retest of the 20-week EMA. The healthy supports are now broken. It will probably be some time before the real bull market is triggered. Absolutely. What does it really mean? He said a last chance buying opportunity is coming. Basically, another breakdown here coming down to the low 20,000s. As I've been saying, I've been saying this for the past couple of weeks, 23,000 is that target I'm looking for. But as I said in the last 2 videos, going down to 21, 22,000, but then ultimately holding on 23,000 weekly on a weekly chart is what's most important. So what does that mean? Well, it means we could still get dumped on a couple $1,000 more, and still be like in a healthy scenario here. Now, if we break 20,000, we go significantly below it, and we get like weekly closes below 20,000, then that is very bearish. I haven't been shying away from saying that. If that would happen, then obviously I think that's a very bearish scenario. But on the contrary, if we break below 23, or if we go down to 23,000, we hold there on a weekly chart, then that will signal immense strength, in my opinion. And we'll go over again in this video about that. But also, we see the Simpsons actually pricing Bitcoin at infinity. The Simpsons are known for their ability to predict things. But yeah, I just thought that was interesting. So looking at Bitcoin's chart, so after we failed to hold the 21-day moving average, we have gotten completely dumped on. And daily chart shows that. We've gotten completely dumped on. If we actually switch to the weekly chart, yeah, we don't have really big support on the daily moving averages currently at this current level where we're at right now. And that's why we have to move on to some other charts. And as we talked about many times, this is one of the biggest reasons why before we got this dump, when we were at 29,000, I thought, and I made the video saying, oh, we're probably going to get dumped on here because it doesn't look good once we slid below the daily moving average. Yeah, in this chart, really the big level of support here, you can kind of see is at this level of about 25,000, but it's not really the biggest level of support. So far, it actually is exactly where we bounced. You can see we wicked down here. And so it has provided some support, but I'm just not convinced the dumping is done yet. And if we go to this chart, clearly the biggest level of support is around that $23,000 level. Took us a long time to flip 23. It was the rejection point back in August of 2022 and even in February of 2023 ultimately, where, as we just talked about, remember in March we got completely dumped on, but then we ended up reclaiming this and pumping above it. But we're having kind of a backtest of this level here. So ultimately 23 is a big level we're watching. Bitcoin's monthly chart even, momentum is slowing down a little bit, but ultimately I think if you look in the next 6+ months, this will turn very bullish, but I still think we have at least another, it's very possible we have another couple months of turbulence and just not great price action for Bitcoin. As I said in the last video down here, the center line here is around 23,000 exactly for support on the GBM. And also, if we look at this chart, right, we do see the BBWs, the Bollinger Bands, we saw them get extremely tight and we saw a big move. It just happens that the move was to the downside. I do want to highlight the possibility though, is that my opinion is that I still think we could see this go down to the $23,000 level and even a little lower in quick wicks, but not really weekly closes. There is though that possibility where we do get, because we've seen the Bitcoin open interest get kind of slammed and longs liquidated like crazy, another fake out to the upside though. But in my opinion, it wouldn't be a long-lasting pump, and it wouldn't really be something, I don't think it would necessarily even set new highs of the year. So in that sense, it's not very exciting, and it's not really important either. Yeah, but ultimately, again, 23,000 exactly where this key moving average is as well. Anything above this, I think this is bullish. Anything below it, it's not. So, if people say, are you always bullish or what on price action? Well, if we're below this line, then I'm not. Okay. Long term, obviously. I mean, so honestly, if you're looking at Bitcoin long term, I'm always bullish. If you're looking month to month, I'm not always bullish. But yeah, if you go back at history, I think it's not really surprised why anybody would be long term bullish on Bitcoin based on, do I really have to pull it out? Well, I will if we look at the long term chart of Bitcoin. If you look at this chart and you're not bullish, then you just have actual, medical issues is really the only way to describe that. But looking at Bitcoin's daily chart, yeah, below all the key moving averages on the daily chart. Weekly, we're right now holding on the 200 week. 50 week is below that because we're in still a bearish trend. This blue moving average going above this yellow one is insanely bullish, but we're nowhere close to that yet. You do see it curving up, right? I do think over the next couple of months, we're going to see this continue and curve up and actually become a bullish scenario, but we're not there yet. This is on the weekly chart, the 200 and the 50 week moving averages. These moving averages take so much time to cross. They take so much time to do anything, right? They're long-term moving averages. So let's say we see a scenario like this. Right? Let's say even the last month of this year, right? Only like 2 or 3 months away. Let's say we do see a cross. And we see Bitcoin, let's say we're at like 35, something like that in just even the next few months. That's a bullish scenario that's incredibly realistic, but you have to keep in mind that's 3 or so months away. That's not that soon, especially in crypto where every day feels like a month. 3 months feels like a very long time, and it is a pretty decently long time. But also the stock market continues to just not really do well. We've been kind of crashing for the past like four weeks, really. And also the DXY though, is still running into that resistance here at this exact level where we've been expecting these rejections for a long time. So it's kind of a mixed bag. DXY isn't doing great. The stock market's not doing good. Bitcoin looks like it's still, and in the altcoin market as well, looks like there's still plenty of room for dumpulation. But yeah, primarily the targets that I mentioned in this video, 23,000 absolutely. But if we would see another fake out, like if we would see this over the next couple of days, if we would do something like this again too, go up to 30 and then maybe get rejected again, that would not be surprising in this market. This market, in my opinion, is not going to be providing any new highs or lows for a pretty long time. It's as boring as it sounds. I think there's going to be still a lot of ranging for the foreseeable, at least next couple of weeks. And take advantage of a massive sign up and deposit bonus if you're interested with trading. BitGet will be implementing KYC beginning on September 2nd. But additionally, if you're interested in trading with Femex, if you sign up with my link below, it takes 30 seconds. You can also earn free XPT and be entered to win 100 ETH simply by signing up with my link below. Without any further ado,